Ladies and gentlemen, Federico Fellini.
Federico Fellini was born on January 20, 1920, in Rimini, Italy, into a middle-class family. His father was a traveling salesman, and he spent his childhood with a strict and devout mother. At the age of 7, Fellini ran away from school to join a circus, but was soon returned to his parents. This experience profoundly impacted Fellini, and the circus became a serious inspiration for his films. Despite attending the religious school of San Vincenzo, he showed little interest in studying, preferring to pursue his passion for drawing and painting, against his parents' wishes. In 1943, Fellini met Giulietta Messina through his work in radio, and this meeting led to their marriage. Messina appeared in several of Fellini's films, and her influence extended beyond acting, having a significant impact on both his art and his life. Early in his career, Fellini was a screenwriter for pioneering neorealist director Roberto Rossellini, including Rome, Open City, 1945. Fellini's major breakthrough came with La Strada, 1954, which won an Oscar and marked his shift to a more personal, surreal style. Fellini's style of cinema is considered part of the modernist filmmaking movement, evolving from neorealism to a more introspective and symbolic style. His films, particularly from the mid-1950s onwards, break from traditional narrative structures, focusing on subjective experiences, memory, and fantasy, often blending autobiographical elements. Fellini engages the audience's imagination, leaving character fates open-ended and exploring themes like societal excess, human vulnerability, and spiritual search. Federico Fellini's films are marked by long takes and fluid camera movements, creating an immersive, dreamlike atmosphere. His fascination with the circus often appears through clowns and performers, reflecting the theatricality of life. The sea, symbolizing mystery and the unconscious, recurs as a backdrop in several of his works. Fellini frequently used wide shots to capture expansive landscapes, cityscapes, and carnivals, emphasizing themes of isolation and human absurdity. A pivotal moment in Fellini's cinematic career came with the release of La Strada, 1954, which marked his transition from neorealism to a more personal, dreamlike style. The film is deeply emotional and visually poetic, winning the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. Federico Fellini won a total of 5 Oscars in his time. 4 Oscar awards for the Best Foreign Language Film, La Estrada Nights of Cabiria, 8.5 Arithmetic 1 honorary Oscar. In 1993, Fellini received an honorary Academy Award. 2 watched films are La Strada and 812. La Strada, 1954, Fellini, follows the story of Gelsomina, a naive and innocent young woman who is sold by her impoverished mother to a brutish traveling strongman, Zampano. The film explores themes of loneliness and examines the position of women in society. Women who are exploited, and are always treated like toys.
Ti porta in giro per il mondo, canti, balli.
8½, 1963, centers on Guido Anselmi, a famous film director experiencing a creative and personal crisis. Struggling to start his next film, Guido is overwhelmed by artistic pressure, personal conflicts, and a lack of inspiration. The film explores themes of identity, creativity, and existential uncertainty, reflecting Guido's internal struggle to balance his art, relationships, and personal desires.
Avvocato, l'ho preso. Ehi! Giù! Vieni giù! Giù definitivamente.
Similar subject matters, themes, personal and existential struggles. Both La Strada and 8½, explore crises of identity, freedom and constraint. Both films depict protagonists dealing with limitations. Gelsomina is trapped in an abusive relationship, while Guido feels constrained by his career and expectations. Similarities: both films are black and white. Fellini uses surrealism and symbolism in both films. La Strada is rooted in neo-realism but still explores psychological and existential themes. 8½, takes this further, blending dreams, memories, and fantasies into a surreal style. Both films feature scores by Nino Rota, whose music is integral to Fellini's dreamlike, emotional storytelling. Tullio Pinelli co-wrote the screenplay for both La Strada and 8½, collaborating with Fellini in shaping the narratives and character dynamics. Let's talk about differences: genre and style, neorealism versus surrealism. La Strada is rooted in the Italian neorealist tradition, focusing on the struggles of ordinary people in post-war Italy. Its simple, linear narrative emphasizes raw, emotional realism. On the other hand, 8.5 is a modernist, avant-garde film that blends realism with fantasy. Its fragmented, non-linear structure reflects the protagonist's inner turmoil, representing a more experimental and self-reflective form of cinema. Let's talk about differences. Camera techniques. La Strada reflects Fellini's neo-realist roots, with simpler, more restrained camera work and angles, focusing on raw emotional storytelling through close-ups and traditional framing. 8.5, on the other hand, showcases Fellini's evolution toward a more surreal, experimental style. It features dynamic camera movements, abstract compositions, and varied angles to visually represent the protagonist's inner world, blurring the lines between reality and imagination.